Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into the weeds with Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's pretty dense stuff.
You've brought some fascinating material looking at these super subtle details, stuff you could easily miss.
Blink and you'll miss it, exactly.
Yeah.
But they reveal so much about the planning.
Right. So our mission today, let's say, is to dig up 10 of these disturbing background elements.
The kind of hidden clues that maybe even diehard fans glossed over.
Exactly, but they have huge implications. We want to pull out these surprising bits without, getting too bogged down. Just a faster track to appreciating the storytelling.
Sounds good.
Ugh.
Where should we start?
Okay, let's kick off right at the beginning, episode 1.
What immediately jumps out, and your sources really hit this, is the level of foreshadowing right from the get-go.
You mean that sketch and the title card?
Yeah, that one. It's so quick, easy to just think it's like background art.
Totally. I barely registered it beyond just setting a mood,
Yeah.
Seemed abstract.
But if you actually pause it and brighten the image like the analysis suggests,
Oh, okay.
it's a map. A rough one, but still.
A map of what?
It outlines Paradis Island and Marley.
Wait, in episode 1? That's years before Marley was even a concept for us viewers.
Exactly. Right there at the start. It hints at this much bigger world, the global conflict, way before we knew anything beyond the walls.
Wow. That's not just foreshadowing. That's like laying the whole foundation stone right at the beginning.
It really suggests that Isayama had this huge plan from day one. It makes you want to go back and look at everything differently.
Seriously. Okay, so that's one piece of insane foresight. What's next on the list?
Well, sticking with this theme of early clues hidden in plain sight.
Yeah.
The second opening. Jiyu no Tsubasa.
Okay, the one with all the Survey Corps action.
Yeah. Around the 1.14 mark, there's something interesting the material points out. Did you ever spot anything weird there?
1.14. I remember it being super high energy, lots of visuals. Can't say I recall anything specific at that exact second. It's pretty fast-paced.
Understandable. You have to really look. But there's this, like a stick figure creature,
Yeah.
almost invisible in the background.
A stick creature, like drawn badly.
Well, it looks simple, but the thing is, it's the spine parasite. The same one we see merging with Ymir Fritz way later in the manga.
No way. The origin of all Titans, that little stick thing?
That's the one, hidden in the opening credits.
Okay, that's genuinely disturbing. The source of everything just lurking in the animation.
Right, it's not just some random image. It's the core of the whole Titan thing. Makes you wonder why put it there, Like a test, maybe?
Yeah.
See who notices?
Or just confidence that no one would notice until later. Okay, wow. Let's shift gears a bit, maybe to a character moment. Eren, season 1, fighting the female Titan.
Ah, yes, that fight. There's that specific moment. The material highlights his voice.
His voice, how so?
When he screams, "I'll destroy the entire world," his voice changes. It gets deeper, almost demonic sounding.
I remember that. I always just thought it was pure rage, like he was losing it in the fight.
That's the surface reading, yeah. But think about what we learn later. The attack Titan.
Its ability to see memories, past and future.
Exactly. And maybe even influence the past. So, one interpretation is that voice. That wasn't just season 1 Eren.
You mean Future Eren, the one who actually does try to destroy the world?
It's highly plausible, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Future Eren's will, or maybe just his presence bleeding through.
So that outburst wasn't just anger, it could have been the first hint of the rumbling echoed back in time.
Sort of planting the seeds, yeah. It adds this whole layer of tragedy, maybe inevitability, to his path. Makes you question his free will, doesn't it?
Definitely gives me chills thinking about it that way. Okay, sticking with season 1, another huge moment, and Eren gets eaten.
Right. By the smiling Titan, Dina Fritz's Titan.
Yeah, terrifying scene. I genuinely thought, well, that's the end of the main character.
But he survives, obviously.
Yeah.
Comes out as a Titan himself. The material points out why the smiling Titan didn't get his powers, though.
Oh, yeah. I just figured it didn't work that way. Plot armor saved him.
Well, there's a specific mechanic. To inherit a Titan shifter's power, you have to consume their spinal fluid, like bite down on the spine.
Ah, okay. Just swallowing someone whole doesn't cut it.
Exactly. The smiling Titan, being a pure Titan, just sort of gulped him down. It didn't target the spine.
So, him surviving inside. Pure luck. Or maybe fate, like you said.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It shows how close things were, how easily the story could have gone a different way. A tiny detail determining everything.
Right. Underscores how precarious everything is. Okay, let's talk about Hang. Their intense interest in Titans. Where did that really start?
The OVA, Ilse's Notebook, is key here, according to the sources.
I remember that one. It's pretty creepy.
Definitely. Shows a scout, Ilse Langnar, encountering a Titan, but this Titan speaks to her.
Right. It called her Ymir Fritz, didn't it, before? Well, before killing her.
Exactly. Super unsettling. It hints at this deep, weird history long before we get the full picture.
So how does this connect to Hang's obsession?
Hang finds Ilse's notebook later on. Reading that first-hand account of a talking Titan, one that seemed to have some kind of ancient memory, that's likely what sparked Hang's passionate scientific curiosity.
So it wasn't just general interest. It was triggered by this specific, bizarre, and kind of tragic event. Gives
Yeah.
their research a different weight.
Absolutely. A personal connection, almost. Now, moving into some of the darker human stuff inside the walls. Pastor Nick, Season 3.
His murder, yeah. That was a shock. And it showed how ruthless the interior government could be.
And Hang finds something specific when examining the body, remember? A grim detail.
Oh, right. His fingernail.
Yeah, ripped out. Clear sign of torture.
Done by the first interior squad, right. The monarchy's secret police.
Exactly. Loyal only to the crown. It shows the corruption, the lengths they'd go to keep secrets, like the ones Nick knew about the walls.
And these are the same people linked to Kenny's squad later.
That's the connection. It paints this picture of a really rotten core within the government, using brutal methods.
Grim stuff. And speaking of the government's shady tactics, Season 3 again. That food distribution.
Yeah, when they suddenly release, like, 60% of all the food rations. Seemed generous, didn't it?
Almost too generous, especially for them. What was the real angle there? Your sources must have dug into this.
Oh, it was classic manipulation, not generous at all.
Okay, lay it on me.
By flooding the market with food, they crashed the prices. Which sounds good, but it bankrupted independent merchants, farmers, depleted everyone's personal stores.
Leading to...
Widespread food insecurity, desperation.
And who looks like a stable source of food then?
The military, specifically the military police who were under central control.
Exactly. Starve the population into dependency, making them join the branch loyal to the regime. Textbook dystopian control disguised as charity.
Wow, that's cold.
Oh.
Using hunger as a recruitment tool. Okay, let's shift perspective. Reiner, Season 4. His mental state.
Yeah, Season 4 really dives into Reiner's trauma. The sourcing highlight that line where he calls himself a short-lived mass murderer.
I remember that. It was heartbreaking. And it's not just about the guilt, the mass murderer part. The short-lived bit is crucial.
Because of the curse of Ymir? The 13-year limit for shifters?
Precisely. It's a direct reference to the shortened lifespan he accepted as a warrior. A constant reminder of his own mortality built into his mission.
God, the weight on those kids.
And, looking back, his split personality, the hints of wanting to die, that wasn't new in Season 4.
You mean it was there earlier?
Subtly, yeah. Little lines, moments of dissociation. It was all foreshadowing his breakdown. Really consistent character writing when you piece it together.
Shows how deep the damage went right from the start. Okay, nearing the end game now. Sarambol. Levi's choice.
That agonizing decision. Erwin or Armin?
And Levi makes that declaration about Armin.
He says Armin will be the one to save the world. Which, at the time, with Armin nearly dead, seems like maybe just wishful thinking faith.
But then he actually does. Plays a massive role in stopping the rumbling.
Exactly. So the question is, was Levi just lucky? A good judge of character under pressure?
Or was it Isayama again? Planting another piece of foreshadowing.
Could be. Levi basically predicting the outcome. It makes you wonder how much was mapped out, even character beats like that.
It's mind-boggling. Okay, last one. Back to the openings. You said they were full of spoilers. Opening 4, My War.
Yeah, that one's wild visually. Around the .10 mark,
What happens there?
there's this image, a Titan, basically turning into a nuclear explosion.
A nuke. That seems pretty extreme, even for Attack on Titan. Metaphorical.
Maybe seemed that way at the time, but think about what happens later.
The rumbling.
Yeah, an event with world-ending destructive power, very comparable to a nuclear apocalypse in scale. That image wasn't just symbolic.
It was showing us the rumbling years before it happened.
Looks like it. Straight up spoiled the ending, visually at least. Reinforces that these openings weren't just cool music videos. They were packed with clues.
Man, so from that first episode sketch to the nuke imagery, these 10 details just show an insane level of planning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not random. It's deliberate, intricate foreshadowing woven through the entire story. Things hiding in plain sight.
It really makes you appreciate the craft. How many little things were there all along just waiting for the full context?
This whole deep dive, it really just highlights the care and foresight involved. Makes you think, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, Considering these subtle clues we just talked about, planted everywhere,
Huh.
what other seemingly insignificant details, maybe lines of dialogue or background shots we didn't even cover, might hold deeper meaning if we went back and looked really closely now?
That's definitely food for thought. Maybe a rewatch is in order.
Couldn't hurt.
Well, thanks for diving deep into these hidden layers with me today. It was eye-opening.
My pleasure. Always fascinating stuff.
Until our next deep dive, everyone, keep those eyes peeled.
Yeah.
You never know what might be hidden just out of focus.